Welcome to the next class of coordination chemistry, that is crystal field theory itself. The last class we studied about the crystal field theory, crystal field stabilization, energy, etc. And in this class, we are dealing with the factors affecting the extent of crystal field splitting. There are four factors which affect the extent of crystal field splitting, and the first one is the nature of ligands. There are two types of ligand, that is strong field ligands and weak field ligands, and we are classifying this ligand as strong field and weak field on the basis of the spectrochemical series. So the ligands like cyanide, carbonyl, etc. comes under the category of strong field ligands, and ligands like halides, ammonia, water, etc. comes under the category of weak field ligands. So in the case of strong field ligands, this crystal field splitting, that is delta T or delta O, that is crystal field splitting is denoted as delta O in octahedral complexes and delta T in tetrahedral complexes. And this delta value, that is crystal field splitting, will be always greater than pairing energy. In the case of strong field ligands, this crystal field splitting will be always greater than pairing energy, and whichever is less, that will takes place. So here the pairing energy will be less, and so pairing will takes place. So what happened? This strong field ligands will form low spin complex. Low spin complex means that paired complex, that moments will be in paired. So that is for strong field ligands, pairing will take place, so low spin complex will be formed. In the case of weak field ligands, this crystal field splitting will be lesser, that delta value will be lesser than pairing energy, and in this case pairing energy is greater. So what will happen? This pairing does not take place. That means high spin complex will be formed. That is the first factor, that is nature of ligands. And nature of ligand means that we are classifying the ligands into two, strong field ligands and weak field ligands, and in strong field ligands this delta value will be always greater than pairing energy, therefore pairing takes place in the strong field ligand, so low spin complex. And for weak field ligands, that pairing energy will be greater, so high spin complex will be formed. That is the first factor. And the next one is next factor is the oxidation state of the central metal ion. You know what central metal ion is? In the case of the complex, here I am taking one complex FeH2O6 3 plus. Here the central metal ion is iron. So what is the point? The central metal ion with higher oxidation state causes large crystal field splitting. So here we are saying that if the oxidation state of the central metal ion is higher, that means crystal field splitting will also be higher. Here we are comparing two complexes, FeH2O6 3 plus and FeH2O6 2 plus. FeH2O6 3 plus means the oxidation state of iron is in +3 oxidation state. That means its crystal field splitting will be 13,700 centimeter inverse. And in the case of FeH2O6 2 plus, the oxidation state of iron is +2. That means it is lesser compared to FeH2O6 3 plus. So this crystal field splitting factor will also be lesser, that is 10,400 centimeter inverse. Like that, in the case of another complexes, cobalt complexes, that is COH2O6 3 plus and COH2O6 2 plus. In COH2O6 3 plus, crystal field splitting is 18,600 centimeter inverse compared to COH2O6 2 plus, that is 9,300 centimeter inverse only, because here COH2O6 2 plus, the oxidation state of cobalt is +2, and in here COH2O6 3 plus, the oxidation state of cobalt is +3. And the next point is size of the d orbitals. Here when the size of the d orbital increases, this crystal field splitting also increases. Here I am taking three complexes. First one is a complex of cobalt, second one is a complex of rhodium, and the next one is a complex of iridium. That means when compared to cobalt, this rhodium and iridium has got higher size. That means in cobalt, this 3D cobalt comes under the 3D series, rhodium comes under the 4D series, and iridium comes under the 5D series. Same, this three elements, cobalt, rhodium, iridium, and comes in the same group only, but with different periods, that is cobalt in the first period, that is 3D series, and rhodium in the 4D series, and iridium in the 5D series. So here you are saying that the magnitude of crystal field splitting increases with increasing the size of d orbital. So when we grew from top to bottom, the size increases. So cobalt has got smaller size when compared to rhodium and iridium. So this crystal field splitting also increases from cobalt to iridium because cobalt has got lower size, 3D series, so to 23,000 centimeter inverse. That is, crystal field splitting for complex containing 5D electrons is greater than 4D and 3D electrons. The next one is the geometry of the complex. The crystal field splitting in tetrahedral complex is nearly half of the octahedral complex. That is, delta T, the value of delta T equal to 4 by 9 delta O. That means the value of delta T is smaller. It is smaller than delta O, and also this delta T will be smaller than pairing energy. So here pairing will not take place in tetrahedral complex because delta T will be always smaller than pairing energy, and always this tetrahedral complexes will form high spin complex. That these are the four factors affecting the crystal field splitting. Next, we are coming to the another property. There is magnetic property of this complexes, coordination complexes. You know what these magnetic properties are, how they are formed. An electron, due to its spin motion, is equivalent to an electric current flowing in a circular conductor. So it behaves as a magnet. You know, this electron has got spin motion. It spins in clockwise direction and in anti-clockwise direction. That means electron has got a spin motion, and due to its spin motion, it behaves as a circular conductor. So it behaves as a magnetic because it can create a magnetic field. So it behaves as a magnet. This is due to the spinning nature of the electron. So since it behaves as a magnet, it has got magnetic moment. That is magnetic moment. We are denoting magnetic moment as mu. The equation for mu, expression for mu is EH by 4 pi mc. That is, E means charge of electron, H is the Planck's constant, and m is the mass of the electron, and the c is the velocity of light. And when we are substituting this with different values, these constants, we get the value as 9.274 into 10 raised to minus 21 goes raised to minus 1. And this value, this is called 1 Bohr magneton. And this is a unit for magnetic moment. And if an orbital contains paired electrons, magnetic moment of one electron is cancelled by the equal and opposite moment of the other. And such materials repel from magnet, and these materials are called diamagnetic materials. I am repeating, if an orbital containing paired electrons, what will happen? Magnetic moment of one electron will be cancelled by the magnetic moment of the other electrons, and such materials does not show any magnetic properties, and so it is called diamagnetic. That means such materials repel from the magnet, that is diamagnetic. And in other case, if materials contain unpaired electrons means there is no equal and opposite moment. So there will be a definite magnetic moment because there is, for one moment there will not be any opposite moment. So it has got a definite magnetic moment, and it is attracted to the magnet, and that is called paramagnetic properties. You know what diamagnetic materials are and paramagnetic materials are. Diamagnetic materials means it will repel from the magnet because it does not show magnetic properties, and paramagnetic moment will attract it to the magnet because it has got some magnetic properties. That is diamagnetic and paramagnetic. And we have to study an equation, that is a magnetic moment of unpaired electron is given by, this is an equation, the mu equal to square root of n into n plus 2. This square root means this whole square root is there. That is mu equal to square root of n into n plus 2, and n is the number of unpaired electrons. So if the number of unpaired electron is 2, and we can substitute, that is root of 2 into 2 plus 2, that value will be 1.73, like that. If the number of unpaired electrons is 3, we can substitute here 3 into 3 plus 2, and if the number of unpaired electrons is 4, we can substitute as 4 into 4 plus 2, like that. We will get that value of magnetic moment. That so equation is magnetic moment, that is mu equal to root of n into n plus 2. And So using this equation, we can find the magnetic moment of this different coordination complexes. That equation I am repeating, that is mu equal to square root of n into n plus 2. And in the next case, I'm explaining about Goi balance. Goi balance means this paramagnetism is measured using this instrument Goi balance. So in Goi balance is a simple instrument, and the sample is placed in a tube suspended from a balance. In Goi balance, there is a sample is placed in a tube suspended from a balance, and the weight of the sample is measured in the presence of the magnetic field and its absence. And if the material is paramagnetic, it will weigh more in the presence of magnetic field than its absence. So increase in weight is the measure of the number of unpaired electrons in the substance. So I am again repeating, Goi balance is a simple balance, and in the balance we can keep the substance, we can a substance in a tube suspended from a balance, and the weight of the sample is measured in two cases. In the first case, the presence of magnetic field, and the other case, in the absence of magnetic field. And if the material is a paramagnetic, what will happen? It will weigh more in the presence of magnetic field than in the absence, because this material has got some magnetic properties, so it will weigh more in the presence of magnetic field than its absence. So increase in weight is a measure of the number of unpaired electrons in the substance.